Early morning, good morning. What's going on with your family? Hey, I want to check in with y'all and hopefully give some encouragement on this morning. I want to jump into this message that was given to me this morning while I was laying up in the bed. We're actually trying to get up in my moments of just thinking. Spirit spoke to me and gave me something that made me really have a long conversation with God. Just spend a little more time than usual. But the title that he gave me, or the title that was on my spirit this morning, was "Hold Up, Wait a Minute." And it might sound familiar to a lot of people who, if you old school, if you from a certain era, it'll sound familiar. You know, as if it was something that we heard in music or whatever in a song. But we're gonna switch it up and allow the Spirit to speak and use it. But what God was telling me about, hold up, wait a minute. He was telling me to hold on for a second before I make a drastic decision, before I allow my emotions to get me caught up and put me in a position that might take longer than a minute to get out. Excuse me. He gave me a lot of opportunities to really sit and think. And I sit down and I really put everything in perspective, that in a perspective that I'd never really done before. I always think, but I just didn't. I don't think I've used my time wise as I did, as wise as I did this morning, and just really thought about how much is going on in our lives that we zoom by. Let's put it like that. And I was given a bunch of different scenarios that made sense. The first scenario that hit me was, and it was a question that hit my spirit. It was, do you know how much God can do in a second? In a second, So remember that. You know how much He can do in a second. And He said, hold up, wait a minute. Calculate how many seconds are in a minute. If He can do many with 1 second, He can do a lot with a minute. So, with that being said, if God is only asking for a minute of your time, do you know He's trying to do a lot in your life in that minute? Because sometimes they say, man, give it a second. If you give it a second, you'll notice, man, so much stuff happened in that 1 second. So much can happen. Life changes in a second. God make life-changing decisions in your life in a second. That was something that really stuck with me all morning. And I mean, when I say I was given so many different avenues to think about that, where He just gave me more and more things to focus on. He gave me, and I'm going to break down a bunch of them just to kind of give you a picture, give you a big, wide view of what's going on and what God is doing in our lives. He made me look at, if God say, give it a minute, and you traveling down a certain road, it's like you might want to turn off. You want to get off because you're tired of riding on this one road. He said, give it a minute. Something you're going to see that's going to just blow your mind, or something you've been looking for is right up the street. It's right down the street. And you choose to listen to that sound, to that voice, to that spirit, and man, your life changes because of someone you met, something you got, something you received from someone that you least expected it. It's a lot that comes into that minute. The more we focus on giving God just a minute of our time, slowing down for a second, allowing him to really move in our lives, you'll be amazed on how far your life will go, or how much you'll receive, you know. And it's not just like I always say, it's not just the material things. You know what I'm saying? It's not just what I can get physically. It's like, no, there's something more valuable than the physical things. You know what I'm saying? Peace is way more valuable than something physical. Understanding definitely is way more valuable than something physical. You know, if a person comes around that, you know, as far as come around mentally and emotionally in a way that can better you, it's more valuable than them giving you something. You know what I'm saying? It's like if your birthday come or a special day come and someone just tell you something that you've been waiting on them to tell you. Or someone get it. You know what I'm saying? They get an understanding that you've been waiting on them to get. Man, that's way more special than you giving me a gift, physical gift. That's what God is doing right now. He's not trying to just give us stuff. Because I think once you get to a certain point in your life, as far as your age, you start noticing stuff is not going to do it. You could have all the stuff in the world and still be so, man, you could be in a storm and people see your stuff and they think you got it made. In reality, you ain't got it made. In reality, you really you lost and you so far back in time because you never changed or you never got something resolved in your life with someone or with yourself. So at this moment, what God is saying about wait, you know what I'm saying, and give it time. You know what I'm saying? Hold up for a minute. I'm trying to teach you something. I'm trying to show you something. I was given an opportunity to hear something, and I was given an opportunity to make a choice on what am I here for? Am I here for the blessings? Am I doing what I'm doing for God for the blessings, or am I doing what I'm doing for God for the lessons? That's something that we gotta ask ourselves that, because some of us do this for the benefits of, man, God's gonna bless me with stuff because I'm doing, you know, I'm worshiping and I'm doing this and I'm doing that, and I'm giving people, you know, inspiration through. No, it don't work like that. I mean, it can work like that, but what do you gain if you just always get blessed with stuff? Stuff can leave you as quick as anything else. You know what I'm saying? Anything that you can put your hands on can leave you quick. People, things, but it's something about your memory. It just can't leave. You know, when I say your memory can't leave, of course we got people that has, you know, certain diseases and certain illnesses that they can't remember things. But those same people can remember, they can't remember short-term things, like something that you've just done. But man, those people can go so far back, and I've watched it, can go so far back in time and remember stuff that you just try to figure out how. Because it's something that stays stuck with you, something that stays in you, you know, a love for a family member. You can't lose it. You can't, it's gone. It never will leave you. You can be emotional all you want. You can be mad and upset. It'll never leave. The love for God, it will never leave if you genuinely got it in you. You know what I'm saying? When you first find out about, you know, certain events that happen and gain some type of knowledge, you can't forget it. You know what I'm saying? Learning how to do something, you can't forget it. So, all that being said is it's something it's something more larger than what we go after normally. That God is trying to show us. When he say, wait a minute. I was given a great idea that I feel I would like to challenge everybody that listen to this message, period, at any time. Out of your 24 hours, I would ask you. It's just a request. I would ask you to give God a minute out of your 24 hours. 1 minute. I mean, literally saying 1 minute. Like you could take your phone or whatever and count it down. Put a minute in your phone and just give God that minute wholeheartedly. Just to say thank you. Just to ask him to move in a situation that you might be going through. Just that 1 minute. I'm telling you, 60 seconds. Like I said, if you take a second, God can do a lot with 1 second. Just imagine what he can do with 60 of them. That's really a challenge. Since everybody do challenges and everybody, all these challenges out here and everybody want to do that, that's a challenge that I want to put out there. The challenge is give God 60 seconds of your life out of 24 hours, no matter when, no matter whatever time you got that you feel God is worthy of that 1 minute, that 1 minute. Just give him 60 seconds. And I promise you, and this is coming from experience, just that 60 seconds, give it to him. You know what I'm saying? But when I'm going to tell you this, I'm going to take you back. Oh, when someone come to your house, I'm going to give you all these things to look at before you take this challenge. Think back to when somebody's coming to your house and they're coming to visit. What's the first thing you do when someone visits you? Someone important, someone special. You clean up, right? They come to your house, you clean up. You make sure everything is in its place. When you come to God, make sure. When you give him that minute, make sure that your house up here, your heart, make sure all that stuff is clean. And when I say clean, I mean not thinking negative, not putting all what's going on around you in the mix of you spending that time with God. Because see, this is the whole deal. Before you ask from something or ask for something from God, offer him something. Offer him your peace. Offer him your mind, really. Not say peace because that's what you're trying to get from God is peace. But offer him your time. Offer him your genuineness. That's what I can say. Like really be honest when you're talking to him. That's something that I can definitely challenge you on and ask that you do is give God that minute, but give it to him in a genuine way. You know what I'm saying? And I promise you, you'll be amazed. Because what's going to happen, and I can tell you, I can give you a disclaimer on that. You're going to give him a minute. And if you give him that minute in a genuine way, wholeheartedly, speaking to him, praying to him. And when I say praying to him, I mean really being deep with God and being real with him and ask him to allow you to see some things that he's trying to show you. Ask him to give you that peace. Ask him to give you wisdom, some type of understanding of why you are where you are. But the biggest thing out of all of it is when you give God a minute, as you ask for something from God, as you pray to God, as you give him a request, give him a minute to answer. Don't go off the end and get mad because he's not answering like right after you pray to him. It's not going to work. You know what I'm saying? Because just the thing, if your kids ask you for something and they say they just got to have it, as a parent, most of the time you wait. If you know your child, you wait. And you let them show you that this is something they really want. And you know this is going to mean a lot to them. So you wait for a minute. Same thing God is trying to do with us. We ask for things, but God is wanting to know, is that a necessity? Is there something you really need, or is it something you just want? Is it something that's going to make you a better person if I give it to you? Or is it just something going to make you look good to other people? See, that's what we got to always think about. Don't get caught up in, oh man, I want this, man. I need this. This will make me so happy and so this and so that. God is asking, is it going to make you function for me? I get it. It's going to make you happy. I get it. It's going to be something that's going to really excite you for the moment. But if I give it to you, what's the benefits for the kingdom? What's the benefits for me trying to build up humanity? See, that's the key right there. Like when God bless you, what are you doing with the blessing? Are you blessing those around you? Are you blessing those that are blessing you? See, there's a lot of people that gain from others, but they never give back. It's just the fact of, let me get from you and let me get from you. Let me take from you. Let me take. But I'm never give it back to you. And it ain't about giving it back. If I give you money, you give me money back. No. If I give you money, give me respect. Give me appreciation. You know what I'm saying? That's why I said, man, the physical stuff, it does not outweigh the more valuable things. If you give somebody some money, you want gratitude. That's expensive, man. That's the hardest thing for people to have is gratitude. People don't sit down and be happy, you know what I'm saying, and be grateful for the things that you offer them. You can offer somebody your time, and that's hard sometimes to give somebody your time. But all you want people to do is just have some gratitude. Appreciate my time. And that's what God is saying. It's like, I want to appreciate your time. You give me that minute. If you hold up for 1 minute and you give me that minute, I want to appreciate that. And I'm going to bless you in so many different ways, but it's not going to always be, I'm going to give you some stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's not going to make you a better person if I give you some stuff. God is saying, I want to give you more than this stuff. I want to give you something that's going to break generational curses. I'm going to give you some stuff that you can take back to your family and change their life. Now, you tell me if that's not more valuable. If God say, I give you this $100,000 car, or I'll give your family enough wisdom to where they're going to blossom. They're going to be the best that you ever thought for them to be. Some of us got kids that we want to see do better in their life. Some of us got family members that we want to see them on top, that we want to see them grow. So God is asking that question. It's like, if you give me a minute, I can give you all of that. I can change your bloodline. I can change your family. I can make your son or your daughter change up in a way that you wouldn't even notice them. Or I can change you to where you don't even notice you. And I can say that, and I can vouch for that because that's me right now. You know what I'm saying? I tell people, and I always say, man, I talk too much. And you know when I started talking too much? When I started talking about God. And not just talking in a religious way. And that's why I always say, I don't do the religious. I don't do religion, bro. I don't do none of that. I try to give God my time because I'm a person that always thought I had it all together. You know, my nickname was Mr. Go Get It. I was like, if I want something, I'm going to get it. It was no way around me not going after my dreams. But God said at one point when I learned about him and I started studying, I started really taking my time out. That 1 minute that I'm asking you, that I'm challenging you to give God, I started giving God that 1 minute. And then all of a sudden I was like, man, I'm giving God an hour, 2, 3. Then it got to a point where God say, I appreciate you because, man, you giving me your whole day. And see, when I say that, man, a lot of people don't get. You can give God 24 hours out of your day and don't even notice it. Because it's not walking around saying hallelujah and doing the whole religious thing. I'm not knocking nobody for what you do. Do it. If that makes you feel good, do it. But it's something more deeper than just hollering and showing people what you do. You know what I'm saying? And trying to get that recognition that you are super spiritual. It's the thing of giving God that 1 minute. And that minute you just keep giving him another minute after another minute. And that's what makes it so intense. You know what I'm saying? You're giving him so much to just hold on to. What's that you said? One day. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shout out to I want to say this right, man. Recovery in Color. This brother here, I listened to him. He definitely said some stuff that got to me, and he just said some stuff. I definitely appreciate what you said. Man, that's why I say this is the thing. You give God a minute, man. Just me being on here for this minute, well, I done been more than a minute. You know, I actually got a chance to interact with another brother in faith. And see, that's the thing. This is what this all means. If you take time out, just give God a second. I mean, for real. You'll notice so much can happen in your life and you can do so much for other people's life. I had a brother call me, text me yesterday and was like, just letting me know how much me taking the time out mean for him. And I had to break it back down to him and tell him, man, you'd be amazed on just the gratitude of you saying how much the messages mean. Because it's not me doing it. It's not me saying, oh, let me go do this so I can get some recognition. No, it's like, man, this me refreshing myself. This me waking up in the morning and saying, God, thank you, because I know yesterday wasn't the best day for me. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we got to be real with ourselves. A lot of people get to a point where you want people to see, oh, I'm on top of the world, man. I got this thing down pat. I'm going to tell you a disclaimer that if no one told you, I'm going to tell you. And I'm pretty sure you done heard it from a lot of people that's really in the faith. Life is harder when you get in this walk. Because this is the key. We're trying to be like Christ, right? Christ walked a long time. And he didn't have a good time. You know what I'm saying? He had to work for years on top of years on top of years. But you know one thing that the Spirit told me this morning while I was thinking? Christ had the same issue. When he went up on that mountain and he asked God to take that cup from him, that cup of going to the cross, God told him the same thing that the Spirit told me this morning. Hold up. Wait a minute. I got something different in mind. I got something larger than life. So another thing that the Spirit told me, and I'm going to get out of here. Everything you thought was dead. Everything you thought was just out of reach. Everything you thought you couldn't obtain anymore. That you knew God had gave you as a dream, as a gift. Same way Christ rose on that third day. God is saying the same thing about your dreams, about your family, about things that you thought was dead. He said, hold up. Wait a minute. I'm going to prove to you that stuff is not dead. All I was doing was training you to hold on to it a little more tighter. A lot of times we forget, man. We take it, we overlook the things that God has given us already. Sometimes he'll remove it and work on us so that we can get it together. Man, see, I took more than a minute. I gave God a lot more than a minute this morning because I wanted to be honest. I wanted to be pure when I talk to him. And the same thing, I wanted to be pure when I'm talking to y'all as far as my thinking. Man, it got me feeling a little bit more different from when it was just going through my mind earlier. I definitely want to say, man, keep your head up. You know what I'm saying? Hold up for a second. Give it a minute. If you're going through it today with someone, hold up for a minute. Man, give them people a minute. Give whoever you got an issue with, give them a minute. You'll never know. They'll come back and just blow your mind with just that minute that they needed to get away and let something, let it work itself out. We all going through something. And I pray that everything we're going through will get straightened up in that minute if we give it to God. Again, that challenge. Hey, man, take that challenge. I want to offer that challenge to any and everybody who want to take it. Give God 60 seconds out of your day. Out of 24 hours. 24 hours. Give God 1 minute. It ain't a challenge. Now I'm daring. I dare you to give God 60 seconds out of 24 hours. Just that time. Give it to him wholeheartedly. Free. And I promise you, it's going to be different. So y'all know what it is. And I always say, man, keep your head on the swivel. Negativity is out there. Can't go around it. You got to go through it. As always, y'all know what I do. 100, strong on. Y'all be easy out there.